All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just kind of reflect on what we talked about real quick. We talked about our AEW Dynamite preview. We also talked about my Thursday Night Wrestling preview. No, we talked about AEW Dynamite review, Thursday Night Wrestling preview. Then we got into Trick Williams and Jordan Grace's future, competitors from either TNA or WWE. But without further ado, we're going to talk about Eric's Tag Team World Cup. Rapidly running out of time. We have about 4 minutes, and I still have a couple things to get to, which is, kind of sucks, but, I kind of had a technical difficulty. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's talk about this stuff. Yeah. Let's go ahead and dig on into this. First, we have the Midnight Rockers with Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. We have the Rockers against who are the Rockers going to fight? Who are they going to fight? In this matchup, they're going to fight. Ooh, the Rock and Roll Express. The Rock and Roll Express, man, they were just so damn impressive. The Rockers, the Rock and Roll Express. That's kind of funny how that, kind of worked out. Just based on experience wise, I think the Rock and Roll Express is like a shoo-in, but you also can't deny Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels' chemistry. Obviously, this was before Shawn was Shawn. So, oh man, this is kind of hard. So, honestly, I think the winner is probably going to be. I'm going to choose the Rock and Roll Express. I think the Rock and Roll Express. They have, they're the best one of the best tag teams in the history of professional wrestling. So we have the Rockers taken out by the Rock and Roll Express. Absolutely badass. Absolutely, it's cool as hell. Our next match, we have the Hardy Boys. We just got done talking about the Hardy Boys. Who will the Hardy Boys fight? The Hardys are against. Bum, 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 bum. Ooh, the Hart Foundation. Ooh, this is kind of hard. You have family versus family. Dang, but then you have Jim the Nightmare Hart was absolutely a beast. He was absolutely dominant. Bret the Hitman Hart was the best wrestler probably in the whole entire world before he was injured. So, oh man, to be honest, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Hart Foundation. The Hart Foundation is going to move on. They're going to defeat the Hardy Boys, although I feel like the Hardy Boys do deserve a little due diligence because of how they just, kind of reshaped the tag team division, especially, during a time where the tag team was kind of like, it was kind of crazy. You didn't really know who the hell was going to, kind of show up. But yeah, we have our next one, and I don't know why it's doing that. We have our next match. We have Hawk and Animal of the Road Warriors. So we have the Road Warriors, and obviously you kind of saw who they're going to fight against. And to be honest, this is probably one of the hardest decisions I'm ever going to have to make because they are going one-on-one with the New Day. The New Day, the reason why I love the New Day so much is their ability to be amazing in tag team, amazing to be their, potential to be amazing single superstars. But man, Road Warriors, when they were together, they dominated the 80s. There was, oh man, shoot. That's crazy. But the New Day, they have like a title reign that's absolutely, oh man, it's kind of hard. Damn it. Damn it. No, that's so hard. Oh man. So we have the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal, against Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E inside of a tag team match. Obviously, you have either Big E with teaming with Xavier or vice versa. Man, I would say just basically, I'm gonna give it to the New Day. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of scrutiny, and probably a lot of you guys might hate me right now, but I'm gonna move the New Day up past the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animals, just because they're just so good. They're just so good. I feel like the WWE tag team division is prominent mostly because of the New Day. All right, so next we have Edge and Christian. Edge and Christian, the Canadian tag team that's been together for like ever, the Brood. Obviously they're both chilling in AEW right now, putting on good matches. They had a good, I Quit match, on Dynamite like about a month and a half ago. So who they're going to fight? Them are going to go against. Ooh, wow! Against Matthew and Nicholas Jackson of the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks are really, really good in a sense that they've kind of been all over the world. They're an international team. They're an international talent. But recently, so has Adam Copeland's been fighting in TNA for a little bit. Obviously, Edge and Christian, but it feels like they've been so consistent. The Young Bucks have. The Young Bucks, they've been in WWE for so long. They've won title after title. So I'm going to say who moves on from Edge and Christian against the Young Bucks. I think the Young Bucks are going to move on to round 2. All right. So, all right, going on to our bracket number 2, we have the Brothers of Destruction. The Brothers of Destruction. Who will Kane and The Undertaker fight? Who knows? Because it'd be pretty darn, obviously they didn't really have titles and anything like that, but they're just so damn, entertaining. Oh, we have Bobby Eaton and we also have Arn Anderson. These guys, ruled NWA tag team for the longest time. Anderson, and we also have Eaton. Oh man, this is kind of tough because The Undertaker was just so great, during his streak and all that. But strictly, talking about tag teams, I'm going to pick Anderson, and we'll be moving on to the Elite Eight. So, absolutely badass with that. All right, in our next match, we have the Mega Powers. We have the Mega Powers consisting of the Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan. And let's see who they're going. Obviously towering over the 80s. We remember these guys to a certain extent against the Crazy Samoans. The Crazy Samoans. Ah, I love Macho Man Randy Savage and I love Hulk Hogan. They are huge icons in terms of professional wrestling, but in terms of tag team, there's nothing that, in the tag team division that the Angry Samoans, that I know that the Crazy Samoans did not do. So moving on to round 2, we're going to see the Crazy Samoans defeat the Mega Powers in Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan. Next, we have the Dudley Boys. The Dudley Boys, Devon and Bubba Ray Dudley, the Get the Tables, are going against, the Usos. Man, once again, you're kind of stuck with that, I feel like the way I kind of structure this tag team World Cup, you kind of have good tag teams like that were prominent in the past, and then you have tag teams that were prominent during the 2000s, and now you kind of have with the Usos and the New Day that kind of are keeping the tag team division on the map. That's the reason why I give them so much damn credit. I think they are 7-time tag team champions, and I believe the Dudley Boys are 7-time too. Don't quote me on that. So they are tied. They are tied. The Dudley Boys definitely with the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian. Oh man, against the Usos, man, they're the longest reigning tag team. The longest, Jimmy and Jey Uso. This is hard. This is so hard. But I guess if I had to choose, I'm going to pick the Usos. I think the Usos are going to move on. I'm sorry. I was a huge Dudley Boys fan, and the moment I made this, I was like, dude, the Dudley Boys are probably going to make it to like the Final Four. So next we have the Steiner Brothers. The Steiner Brothers were your first kind of take at MMA meets WWE. Kind of reminds me of like an American Alpha, what they kind of did with that. Kind of like the Creed brothers you see now in WWE. Obviously, it's not the same thing. We have Rick and Scott Steiner. They were absolutely dominant during their tenure as well. They won championships. They were dominant. They had long reigns. Against, okay, this is a little easy. Against the APA. Love the APA. They weren't really that, the Acolytes. Like, I'm not too sure if they did win a WWE World Tag Team titles. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. But I think out of both these guys, it's kind of easy. I'm going to have the Steiner brothers move on. So I have my Elite 8. So 16 teams are done. We are heading toward oh, that's true too. My man Ralph Rodriguez has hit up the chat about the Dudley Boys and ECW and TNA. And it's true. It is true. But the Usos, man, they're like I said before, I feel like the tag team division right now in WWE wouldn't really exist because it's been a while. It's been a while since you've kind of had tag teams fluctuate within the company for the longest time. They're trying to get people to come up from NXT to make the tag team division prominent. Seems like nothing's really working. So, obviously we always have the Usos or we always have the New Day. So, you have AOP in right now, DIY. You have the little, Awesome Truth thing, which is, it's cool and all. But I don't know. It's kind of hard to knock off the longest reigning tag team, reign in history. So, guys, do not go anywhere. We're going to finish this off. I only have probably like 5 minutes left. So let's kind of just dig in deep to the details. We're going to talk about my Thursday Superstar Spotlight. Today, we're going to talk about Maxwell Jacob Friedman, the best wrestler in the world. I'm better than you, and you know.